I am live, so I am going to go post this link on our website, jollyrogerukulele.com. And if you are new to here, you need to stop by there first to pick up today's sheet music and all of that good stuff. Link to join. I'm pasting that here. So give me just a second. If you want to fast forward about 4 minutes in the video that you're watching, that's approximately when the class will start. So just fast forward up a little bit and you'll see that. Let me finish posting this over here on the website and we'll get everybody tuned in, get my microphones and all that stuff set up correctly. Get last night's link posted onto the archive page. Just busy as all get out here. Summer Institute. There's that. Let's update this page. Update. All right. Okay. Sounding good today. Good. Thanks, Sandy. I apologize, guys. I'm running obviously a little late today, and I'll catch everybody up here. We'll start just a little bit late, unfortunately. Let me make sure I got all these things set correctly. I'm running like a goon trying to get everything done this morning, and failing, obviously, at all of it. Let's see. All right, so that's... All right, there's that through. And Blue Hawaii, did I download? I do have it. Okay, good. All right. I'll catch up with everybody in just a second. I got a mess on my hands here in the other window that I got to fix. Let's see, that should be green. Oh, it's not that green. What the heck's going on here? There we go. All right, finally fixed. All right, the link is obviously working because you guys are showing up. So that's good. Let's see. Sandy is in today. Marie, Linda, Phyllis from beautiful Richmond Hills, Ontario. So delighted you've been able to join us all these times, Phyllis. It's really exciting. Let's see who else. Kat is on time finally. Kat needs to learn to read a calendar, or not a calendar, a clock. Glad you're here, Kat. Glad to see you. Lindy is on time. Let's see. Lanning in from Greeley. Brandon in from... Let's pretend that Brandon... Where should we pretend Brandon's from? I don't think I know where you're from, Brandon. Laurel is here. Terry from beautiful downtown Denver. Evelyn in from Ecuador. You're welcome from last night, Evelyn. Glad you were able to join us. Manette's in from up on the hill. Gary in from... Vancouver, Washington. It's confusing because there's Vancouver, British Columbia, and which is a beautiful place, in Vancouver, Washington, which I've never been to, but I understand it's pretty nice. Let's see, Linda here again. Linda's just logging in her hours. Leslie, same thing. Pauline, really logging in. Renee is here today. Jana, Patty, and Tom are in. Fran is in. Lynn. Diane. Yeah, I'm running late, guys. I do apologize. Let's see. I got my phone has just been nonstop all day today. And so I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So we're about ready to call it good. All right. So whatever else happens on the phone, and they're on their own today, right? Let's see. Vicky is in. Jerry is in. Brandon, San Francisco. Okay, Brandon. I mean, you probably told me that before. I apologize for forgetting. So we always have a good representation from the Bay Area. It's really, really pretty sweet. between people. We know we got a lot of smart people that log on to do this activity, and well, I always assume if you can figure out a way to make it in San Francisco, you must be pretty smart. Barbara, Chris in today. Golf was canceled. Oh my gosh, that's the saddest phrase in the entire world. The golf was canceled. Linda's in from California. Christine is in here. Second half from Bozeman. There's 2 people in Bozeman. They're the right 2 people, thank goodness, because they're going to turn that into 99 people up there in Bozeman. And Judy's in, back in. Judy, good to see you, Judy. Cindy, welcome in. Okay, so apologize for being a tiny bit late today. We don't have terribly complicated stuff to cover today, but it's definitely going to take us a little bit to get through both sections of it. So we'll go run through that. You should note, I got my final crowns on today, and they're looking all right, huh? So I had to be at the dentist at 8:30 this morning, and I had to take 2 Novocaine shots on this side of my face to get through it. And so this part of my face is still coming down off the Novocaine, and under the best of circumstances, my face is crooked, and so it's extra crooked today. And when I got home, I took a Vicodin from 2008 or something. I don't know. I have this old bottle of Vicodin from back in the day from something, who knows what. And so I took one. And so I'm a little loopy, and I have not had the proper amount of coffee inside of me. And I have had people hanging around in my face all morning. And so I'm kind of a mess. And so in addition to that stupid Vicodin is giving me nausea. So I'm just going to pretend that that everything is making sense. If I say something if I invite you out on a date, no, it's the drugs talking and not, I don't know. Just know that I'm kind of a mess. And if I say something stupid, ask a clarifying question over here, and hopefully we can straighten it out. What I want to do today is talk to you. Mike will go on a date with me. Mike, you're first on my list. I love it. We all need to go on a date, right? None of us have been able to leave the house, and those of us who've left the house feel like we're committing some sort of vandalism in the world. So, yeah, we all need to go on a date. So today is 3 Blind Mice in Blue Hawaii. Now, let's be clear. 3 Blind Mice is a stepping stone. It is not a song in and of itself. You will play 3 Blind Mice today, and then you will never play it again. But it is a stepping stone to really understanding how chord melody works. I give you my spaghetti monster to get you started on it, but then we use 3 Blind Mice to sort of just anchor in the idea of what chord melody looks like. And I want to make sure that it makes sense for you. And then for those of you that are higher level, next level players, I'm going to give you a little activity which was similar to last night in Summer Institute for the advanced players, to get them doing an extra way to make 3 Blind Mice sound kind of cool. Oh, hey, Bruce, in from Rapid City. Say hi to Cheryl for me. Bruce was just here just a couple weeks ago. So what we want to do is take 3 Blind Mice as your final test that you're understanding how chord melody works. And chord melody is when we take the chord and we combine it with the melody, and then all happens at the same time. For those of you who are next level players, by the way, Blue Hawaii is going to kick your butt today, so that should so take and enjoy your time on 3 Blind Mice here. Whole entire song is in C, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? 2, 3. Okay, and in that case, we're just doing 4 strums downbeat. We're holding 1 chord. Not a lot to the song, right? So people say, well, that's a boring song. Why do we have to learn that song? Well, because we want to take boring songs and make them increasingly complicated. what we do in most ukulele classes is we take complicated things and simplify it for you. And that's the wrong way to think. What we want to do is take simple things and then see how complicated you can make it. That's sort of the one of my uh, it comes from my old teaching days when I went through teacher school. They says, don't give kids simplified readers. They need the real stuff. And that was fine when you worked in schools where kids had the best of education all the way going through. Uh, and there was very poor teacher training, but it at least gave you the idea that, hey, we don't want to take good stuff and dumb it down. We want to take simpler stuff and then see what you can do with it. And that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so you got your C chord, which is what we hoped was the only C chord you'd ever need in a very basic strum pattern. So now let's take this and let's complicate it. Let's take this. Oh, question. The question is in. Hi, Pat and Gary. Can you explain again playing 3 strings versus 4 and which fingers go on which strings? I forget. I just just explain it. Just explain it tomorrow. Okay, so oddly enough, without even noticing Marilyn's question, that was exactly the thing, the next step in this process of complicating simple things. Okay. So this is not going to change for yet. Okay. This was very boring, right? No, not boring. It just was very basic. Okay. So then the next idea would be to take this finger. When you're strumming, don't do it with your nail facing up here. Your finger will get stuck in between there. So you want your nail facing down. Okay, so if I put the C chord on and I get my nail facing down, now it goes down without getting caught in any strings, and it can come back up with the pad of your finger. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Welcome in, Valerie. Okay, so there's that. And then we'll give a little oomph with our hand and a little bit of flex with our fingers, and we'll end up sounding pretty nice. So let's try it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? Okay, so that's the up and down. Okay, Mike asked, "Oh yeah, this is an Ohana uke. It's actually one of their higher end units. Really a beautiful instrument, and it sounds really wonderful." So yes, it's an Ohana. What is it? Ohana. Well, my eyes aren't working right now because of all of the Novocaine gotten up in my face, so I can't read the little tiny numbers in here right now. I'll see if I can tell you what they are in a little bit, Mike. What we did was take a very basic strum pattern and then we turned it into a little bit more exciting. And this is what you'll see in a lot of websites where they talk about strum patterns. They'll say down, down, up, down, up, or whatever type of strum pattern they want you to do, they'll give it to you. The reason you don't get that kind of stuff from me is because then you're thinking about down, down, up, down, up, instead of what you should be thinking of, which is how to make this song come alive and how to give it some humanity and how to make 3 Blind Mice the saddest tale of an enraged housewife ever in the history of the world. And instead you're thinking, am I on the downs or the ups or the downs? And it puts your brain into a place that's, it parks your brain in the wrong garage. That's what down, down, up, down does. And what I want you to do is be thinking, how would you bring 3 Blind Mice alive? And so this is another tool, the down and the ups. If you had if you had 6 or 8 players and you were going to do a small group presentation and you wanted everybody to do the same exact strum pattern, that's when you would talk about that. But for you as a solo player, down, down, up, that's not helpful to you at all. Okay, as a solo player, you're thinking, I might do some of this, I might do some of this, I might do some of this, I might do some of this. I'm going to really bring my whole toolbox together. Now, just more specifically to Marilyn's question, let's look at, we've got 2 types of strumming. Now let's start looking at this one, okay, which is all four strings, and I'm going to get as close as I can with the best light I can. Okay, thumb on the top, index underneath your C string, middle finger underneath the E string. I don't know if the light's getting good enough for you guys, and then ring finger underneath the A string. Okay. Notice that I don't have them piled up on top of each other, but I have them stretched out at an angle so that thumb has some room to come down, index finger has some room to come up, middle, and ring. Okay. We're using all four strings, 2, 3, 4. Now be really aware of the fact my pinky's doing nothing. And each of these fingers has a string that it's assigned to. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, then let's put the chord on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? Okay, so there's another thing. Let's see. Oh, hey, Fran. Oh, Fran has a new Ohana. Yeah, absolutely. They're wonderful. Yeah, it's a good company, and really they do some nice stuff. A lot of you guys have Kalas. That's another company that just produces a really nice ukuleles. We got a lot of these days. You can get pretty nice units for really an expensive price. And oh, hey, Clay's in from Santa Rosa. Good to see you. All right, so that's the next possible thing. Now let's do 2 Marilyn's questions. What if we just did 3 fingers? Thumb here, index finger, and middle finger here. Okay, we're about to do something fancy with this. Okay, so thumb, index, middle. Okay, let's just do 3 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. Let's speed it up. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? So that's a 3-finger pattern versus a 4-finger pattern. Okay, it's not really a pattern yet. It's just 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, but that's the idea. Now let's take, with using these 3 fingers, thumb, index, and middle. Let's do thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. Put your chord on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? So that's a 3-finger pattern on a 4 beat. So we have to do one. This finger gets used twice in that pattern. Now let's go back and use a 4-finger pattern. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Put your chord on. And then do it twice as fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life? 3 blind mice. Okay, so what we're talking about is nothing has changed here yet. Nothing. Okay. Okay, over here we've done all kinds of things. We've done this, we've done this, we've done a mixture of this, we've done plucking all at once, we've done plucking little bits at a time, we've done try in different styles of pattern. So the idea is to get as many different possible sounds coming out of this hand, because this is where the music comes from. This just tells it which type of music to make. This tells it what kind, right? Like the quality and the overall feeling and impact is going to come out of your right hand. Phyllis asks, can you strum down with 4 fingers together, thumb excluded? Let's do this one. Okay, this is called the chunk stroke. Let's let's wrap it up with something super complicated. Okay, let's take first. Let me build this. You have to build it to do the first time. Take your index finger down, and when you go down, just like that, just your index finger right now, and then stop it with your palm. Down, stop, down, stop, down, stop, down, stop, down, stop, down, stop. Then try to make it a continuous motion. Down and stop. Okay. That's what you're trying to do. Very little sound coming out of your ukulele, just a lot of percussion sound. Okay, then use 2 fingers. Then use 3 fingers. And then use 4 fingers. So right now I'm trying to hit pinky, ring, middle, and index. They're all coming down together like that. And then I'm stopping it with my palm. Okay. I'm not really trying to get any music out of it. I'm just trying to get the clunk out of it. Okay. And then, once you're starting where that's making a little bit of sense, drag your index finger back up as you come up. Index finger. This is how chunk strokes work. And when you watch Hawaiian players play, they use this a lot. And you also need to know how to do this if you're going to play reggae. Okay? If you're creating a percussive sound, and then the chord is actually being produced when your index finger comes back up. This can be really challenging in the beginning. So this is what Phyllis is talking about there, strumming down with 4 fingers together and not using your thumb. Okay? And then we try to speed it up a little bit till we get to a pace where we're feeling the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the sound is actually coming on the offbeat. Then when you add in the song, you get a kind of a cool feeling to it. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? I always like to stop on this chunk. Okay, that's a chunk stroke, and you'll see that a lot in Hawaiian and reggae music where they do that. And again, this down part is not to get the chord out; it's to get the percussion out, and then the up strum with your index finger creates the chord sound. Okay, so those are all different ways to sing and strum, and I think, as far as I know, that's pretty much it. There's a triplet stroke. It won't work on this song, but that's where you come down with your index finger, down with your thumb, and then back up with your index finger. You'll see a lot. That's fairly unique to ukulele. You don't see a lot of other instruments using that type of triplet stroke. And so and all of the old school ukulele books, the ones from the teens and the 20s, they almost all of them talk about that triplet stroke. And there's a couple of players over the years that have used that idea to great advantage. To get you this 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And it looks kind of cool when they do it because their thumbs all over the place, and you see a lot of the old school ukulele players using that. Now, that's all of this right hand stuff. Okay, so that's a different ways to present this song, and you can decide if you like singing, which one of those is going to make the most sense. It'll vary from song to song, and you'll also find the ones you like the most, and you will overuse them. So when I first started, I was I think that was my that's the stroke that's in my heart somewhere, and it just started doing it. And I was busy learning to sing and strum like everybody does, and everything started sounding the same. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to have to do something different with this hand, or all of the songs are going to sound the same. So hopefully that gives you kind of an overview of is there one right way to do Three Blind Mice? Probably one of those is better than another one, but could you do them all in one song? Yeah, be experimental. Try to dig inside of your soul and say, how would I do Three Blind Mice? What would I do to own Three Blind Mice? I want to be in charge of that. I want to be the guy that they call up and say, "Hey Gary, I hear you're the best Three Blind Mice player in the history of the world. Could you come to our ukulele festival and show us how you do it?" That's what you want to be. You want to be that person, right? To get what's a relatively simple song, but to turn it into something so dramatic and so beautiful that people would call you up. Okay. Now, push all that aside. Those are strum patterns. Okay. Let's talk about getting the melody out of there. Guys, those of you who are newer, let's just play the ukulele line on this one. One of my old school pieces of music, so it still calls it the ukulele line. We're going to do one note at a time, and we're going to revolutionize how we approach this song. So the first note's a 0, second note's a 2, next 0. Let's repeat that. We got 3 1 1 0 on the second string. Again. Hit a 3 on the second string. Then bunny hop over to the first string. 202. 3. Bunny hop. 3 3 3. Bunny hop. 2 0 2 3. Bunny hop. Bunny hop. 2 0 2. Let it ring out. Let's play it one more time. The question you'll have is, am I basically keeping up with Gary? Then I'm doing great. If I'm not keeping up at all, then I'm going to need to work on this at a slower speed. If I'm keeping up with Gary, but I'm messing up here or there, then that's okay, because that means you just got to work on those sections where you mess up. From the top, a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice melody. It's got a little bit of everything in there. I really like the way the melody works on this piece of music. I also like the fact that you can Wikipedia this song and you will not get any meaningful answers. It's like when nobody knows what the heck this song is, or where it came from, or and they have all these weird theories about what it is. At the end of the day, it's about a very disgruntled housewife who's chasing knives and chasing mice around with a knife. Now, this is where you take off and you join Jake Shimabukuro. Jake Shimabukuro is our patron saint of ukulele. He's the best guy on this instrument. And the one thing that he does is he takes the chords and he takes the melody and he smashes them together. And then he plays them at a ridiculously fast rate of speed with almost perfect execution, and we all think it's magical, right? Well, here you go. I'm going to teach you exactly what he's doing on this song, and then all you have to do is just keep working on it until you're as good as him. Okay, first thing we're going to do, the first note in the melody is this 0 right here. So we're going to hit all the strings down until we hit that. And now notice my thumb stopped on this first string because I'm not going to play that string. I'm not going to play it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then I'm not going to play that string. So my thumb sits on the string like it's on a hammock. It hangs out there. It's called a rest stroke. Just like that. Okay? Then the next one is 0, 2. I'm looking at that tough uke line, guys. 0, 2. Okay, there's that. And then 0, 0. Okay, next major, same thing. Okay, now I'm going to go 0, 0, 3, and then 0, 0, 1, and then again, and then 0, 0, 0. Notice every single time my thumb is just resting on this string. And I'm not doing that on purpose to teach you something. That's honestly how you play. Okay, then you go to 3 here again. 2 ones. 0. And you go 0, 0, 3. Now we're going to do that bunny hop just like we did when we were playing the melody. And now we're going to play all 4 strings. 0, 0, 0, 3. Go to the 2. Hit the open. 2, 3. Bunny hop to the other 3. Make sure you rest stroke. Bunny hop again. 0, 2, 3. Okay, that's what you're after. If you are new and you can pull that off, you have entered into the realm. Okay, we've let you in the front door. Basically, you're taking the C chord and then you're playing that until you hit the melody note. And if that note happens to be before you hit the full C chord, that's okay. You're just modifying that C chord to adjust it for the melody. Okay, let's try next idea. Okay, let's grab all 4 fingers, all 4 strings, and then let's try playing that. This is a level beyond what we just played with using our thumb. Let's try plucking the whole thing, following the tough uke line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm letting it ring out. Okay, got a higher quality ukulele. It rings a little bit longer than the cheaper ones do. Okay, so we're all, that's it, right? Those are all the various ideas. Now your last job that you get to think about is, all right, what can I do to combine all of these different ideas? So you might start off, and I'm just going to make something up here. I'm going to do a tiny bit of improvising here. But, Okay, go trying to combine all of those different ideas into just one presentation. Okay, and that's where faith, that's where being sitting, that's where this instrument exceeds all others. You probably have figured out sitting on your couch just noodling is one of the great joys in your life. Just doing nothing on it, right? Just making noise. That's what you can take a basic song like this and just see what kind of combinations of all of those ideas can go into this. The song doesn't change. The song, who cares what the song is? It matters what techniques you bring to it. That's what's kind of fun about it. Last technique I'll talk about, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail tomorrow, is what if you played exactly like it says, but instead of quarter notes, let's turn everything into an eighth note. And so you would take your C chord, the 0 0 0, and then you'd follow it up with your index finger. So after every chord, after everything you do, just hit an index finger. It would end up sounding something like this. Okay. So that's what I'm doing there, and I did a poor job of it, but I guess because I have not practiced it. Is just to add in extra doodly doos in between every single quarter note to create this more complex arrangement. And you saw me fighting my fingers just a little bit and making some weird choices with my left hand. And the idea is that's when you're playing really finger style. You see that word floating around on the internet these days, and it's basically where every single thing in a song is an eighth note, and we're just trying to add in decorative until it feels very baroque in its final presentation with a whole lot of extra notes on there. All right, we've dug into Three Blind Mice at a pretty intensive level here. We got you a little bit of everything on that. The reason I like to spend a little bit extra time on that one is that that's a kind of piece where you bring all of the skills that we talk about all of the time. I know ukulele players, and you just want more sheet music, more new song. Go back and take one song and then bring all of the skills you've been working on over the last however long you've been hanging out with me, and see if you can take all of those skills and turn them into something really fascinating from a instrumental standpoint. And that's where you have to get away from the notion that you're not good enough, right? That's always a notion that we all sort of have lurking in our soul. Oh, I'm just not good enough. What we want to do is, what can you do at your level right now? That's what we really want to be able to get you to. And I'm seeing my computer is about to run out of batteries, and I don't think I brought my charger. All right, so at some point I may go away. I got 10% power. We're gonna get through Blue Hawaii really quick, and then I'm gonna get nuked. I didn't bring my power cable. All right, let's go grab Blue Hawaii really quick. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how fast that power went away. Blue Hawaii. Yeah, come on now. There it is. I think that means that I'm not doing a guitar lesson today. All right, Blue Hawaii. Very quickly, let's talk about the chords are not very challenging. Night and you and Blue Hawaii. The night is heavenly, and you are heaven to be. Okay, so the chords themselves, not very fascinating. Major 17, you do have a D minor. Remember with D minor, there and there. Okay, I think that's the only interesting chords in there. So the chords are straightforward. Also, the melody, if you don't know this song, go to the website and listen to the MP3. I want you to listen to it a lot of times. The nice part about this song is it's supposed to be super lazy. Okay. So you don't need to play it fast. You don't need to play it with precision, right? Let's run through the melody, and I may run out of batteries on my computer here. So just stick with me until the end. Okay. From the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 You notice in measure 7, that's a triplet there at the beginning of that measure. So it's dun, 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 dun. It's a little faster. Okay. Measure 9, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Oops. Dun, dun, clunk. I clunked that out. Okay. I like to just take my 3 and drop it over both of those. And then when you get into measure 17, that's a long note. Okay, grab the 4. Go on to page 2. The really long note there, let it roll, and then go to the ending. So beautiful little melody. By the way, Lanny, who's hanging out over in your chat box, was the one who thought I'm doing this song, and we couldn't be happier that he chose this song. It's a really beautiful song. So the melody really works. The chords not super challenging. Then when you try to tough uke it, it's going to get into a whole nother level of crazy. Okay, let's talk about just a few things before I run out. I'm staring at my battery. I'm out right now. Okay, you're going to start with that C chord. Instead of this C chord, the one that's shown there, use this one, okay? Because then you get 3, 4, 5, okay? What I wrote was 5, 4, 3. So you can either strum it, which I probably would. This is a Hawaiian song, right? That sounds a little more Hawaiian than that, maybe, depending on what you're working on. And then I wrote hit a 2. So because that's the melody. Night and you. But then Lanny thought, what if I don't take these guys up? I just drag them down and drag the whole thing back up and do them both. I'll do all 3 of them. Doesn't that sound cool? Good job, Lanny. I made fun of Lanny last night for being a cheater. Now today he gets credit for being awesome. Okay, this is what this looks like. Doesn't that sound like you're in Hawaii? Okay. So you might think about playing it that way. Then you got your A minor. Now remember, that's what add a rest in the melody. So it's just there to give you a beautiful presence in that measure. Then hit the 4, and then a nice F chord. 4 again. You make sure you're using your pinky on those 4s, and then go get that 3, 4, 5. Okay, beautiful. Go on to the 3. And then last night we talked about chord shapes. This says 7, 8, 7. Okay, that's what you're going to do there. When I get to a 7, 8, 7, what I'm really thinking is that's a G chord, but it's just up here on 7. Okay, and then I'm going to play that. To get 7, 8, 8, just add your pinky, take it back up, and measure 5. This is actually a D chord. 5, 5, 6, and 7. Probably use a full bar. And that's your first D, then slide it down. It's a little bit of a tough move. Then a real G chord. And then you'll slide real fast up to 7. You'll look super cool doing it. Go back to your 5. And then that C chord with that looks like a B flat. Okay, so there's that. You got 6 beats there at the end of measure 7 and measure 8. You might want to think about adding in something fancy in there. Hey Joyce, welcome in. Glad you're here. I'm about to run out of battery, so you're probably here until I just disappear from the website. And then that same idea repeats from measure 9 through 16. Okay, so you learn it in measure 8, and then the same thing from 9 through 16. Notice you have a repeat that starts at 17. It's going to take you to 32. At 32, when you're done with 32, don't go back to the beginning of the song. Come back to 17, and then you're going to play through all the way to the end. You'll skip 32 on the last time. All right, I got 2% battery, guys. The bridge section here, or the B section, I guess is a better name for it, 17 through 24. Let's run through that very quickly. You've got the F chord. Come with, and you got this D minor shape. That's a bar on 5, ring on 7. We learned that last night in the F arpeggio. Okay, grab your 3, F chord, and then there's this C shape here again. Pinky on 4. Go to page 2. D7. 7, and then a D with your bar on 2, pinky on 5. Okay. And then we got this. And the last hard chord is this G7. This G7 is going to come up all of the time. It's 2 here, here, and here. Okay, that's going to come up all the time. Do this. All right. And guys, I'm going to be perfectly honest. My computer is freaking out because I'm on 1% battery. So I'm going to call it a day. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to crash on YouTube. And that's that. I will see all of you guys tomorrow and we'll do a recap of this. And we're going to study Can't Help Falling in Love with You. So